financially mostly, from what I see. 'Cause, it's all about, everyone wants to be a big shot, but they gotta pay the price. They have to know how to handle defeat.
If I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference, almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Into that.
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight.
Mike Tyson isn't pulling punches when it comes to Jake Paul's latest daring statement about defeating Gervonta Davis. The former heavyweight legend, renowned for his blunt honesty as well as his crushing power, tore into Paul after the YouTuber-turned-boxer claimed he could overcome one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport today. Tyson, who has alternated between praising and criticizing Jake's boxing path, made it plain that stepping in against a pound-for-pound star like Davis is no joke. And he spoke directly in reminding Jake of the gulf between online fame and true elite boxing greatness.
Quite surprised because it sounded like Jake Paul and Joshua was getting closer and closer for January. However, there have been rumours of Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul in the past. I think with Gervonta Davis's kind of legal problems in the last month or so and rumours about his retirement, I don't think it's a massive shock that he is taking this Jake Paul fight if it is going to go ahead. Purely for the reason that it's a lot of money for maybe not the most difficult job that he's going to have in his career. So it's a strange one, but yeah, it's just another kind of day in the sport, really, isn't it?
The bout between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis is set for November 14th at the Casa Center in Miami, Florida. It was originally planned for Atlanta, but was relocated following concerns raised by the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission regarding the large weight gap existing between the two fighters.
Oh my days. Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Is this real? This can't be real. Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight. And now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this. But Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. This is random.
Jake Paul comes in holding a record of 12 victories, 7 coming by knockout, and just 1 defeat. Paul transformed his influencer popularity into a legitimate boxing career through crossover high-profile matchups and different business ventures.
People are like so fucking insecure. Kind of lost myself in the whole entertainment world, and so when I found boxing, it gave me that like routine, that discipline. I got to like take time for myself in these boxing camps, and every day for training I had to like meditate. And boxing gave me the ability to like reflect on myself and like realizing who I was and who I wanted to be, and that helped me mature. You get addicted to that validation from others. That's something that I realized that I had to face. And why do so many people want clout? I'm not good enough. I need followers. I need likes. It's driving a lot of our generation because they're working so hard to get this external validation.
Gervonta Davis remains undefeated with 30 victories, 1 draw, and numerous knockouts. He is the reigning WBA lightweight champion, yet that belt will not be contested here due to the size imbalance. This fight is officially labeled an exhibition. That means several aspects of a normal professional contest, including rounds, weight rules, and other regulatory requirements, are more adjustable and open depending on which commission finally approves it.
25 is at the next year. I'm out of it.
After our second fight. You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
Who do you think will win between Jake Paul and Gervonta?
But I don't know. It should be Gervonta, right? But the weight size and everything, we'll see. It's a fun.
Mike Tyson, who has previously shared the ring with Jake Paul, has allegedly urged caution as Paul heads into a clash with Davis. Tyson knows well the demands and pressure of fighting Paul. But he also sees the immense risks of going up against a fighter as talented and explosive as Davis. While Paul carries youth and size advantages, Tyson insists Tank's speed, technical skills, and knockout ability make him lethal despite the weight gap. His advice reflects worry that Paul may be downplaying the threat Davis brings. To Tyson, the spectacle may draw huge crowds, yet he emphasizes Jake must balance his legacy against the severe physical danger.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's a top dog, there's no doubt about it. He showed that. But Barrios, he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty durable.
Eddie Hearn has voiced strong doubts about Jake Paul's bout with Gervonta, saying it's far more than just entertainment. He cautions that the fight might be uneven in terms of risk, safety, and size, and Paul could leave it seriously hurt. Even while recognizing the financial reward in public hype, Hearn believes the mismatch could result in a beating that derails Paul's path, particularly a clash with Anthony Joshua. He argues that although the commercial pull is massive, the risks are impossible to ignore. While he estimates the fight's outcome at 50-50, his central point is firm. Paul endangers more than simply his record here. According to Hearn, his health is truly what's at stake.
We know that Gervonta is going to fight Jake Paul in November, and then we'll see what happens if there's an AJ fight. Be interested to go from Gervonta Davis to Anthony Joshua, but I don't think the Chavez fight is terrible. I think it's a smart bit of business.
I think it's extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. You know, I've got the general feedback is the boxing world saying, please AJ, go in and evaporate this young man from the boxing world so we can all get on as normal. You've got Jake Paul fans thinking bizarrely they can beat Anthony Joshua. And the most bizarre thing out of everything is that Jake Paul genuinely believes he will beat Anthony Joshua. I think that's the only reason we're going to see this fight, but I truly believe you're going to see it at the beginning of 2026.
Carl Froch, the former super middleweight world champion, has voiced major safety concerns over the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis exhibition, pointing to an estimated 65 pounds difference in weight between them. Froch highlights that Jake Paul has recently fought close to the cruiserweight mark, about 200 pounds, while Davis competes at lightweight around 135 pounds.
I mean, I don't really take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional. It's a mismatch, and you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different. It's like a different sport.
Froch insisted that in professional boxing, such a matchup would never be sanctioned because the danger is extreme. He emphasizes that Davis has never endured punches from someone with Paul's mass and frame, and that a single heavy shot from Paul, especially one delivered swinging or from the hip, could cause serious harm.
My name was mentioned at his press conference and he shit himself, and the fight was just absolutely fucking diabolical. Again, I've said before, he's not a professional boxer, he never will be, and he proves time and time again that he's not a professional fighter, so Jake Paul, go on, piss off.
Although Froch feels Davis has the ring craft, footwork, and stamina to control phases of the fight, he questions whether Davis possesses enough punching strength to significantly hurt Paul. Nonetheless, Paul's unnatural weight advantage makes the matchup perilous in Froch's judgment.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think, but the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode, but hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf, and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share and subscribe for the best channel in the business, Frotch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
Meanwhile, unlike most, Chael Sonnen doesn't see the fight as being as lopsided as people suggest. On his YouTube channel, he declared, "It's not as bad a fight as you guys think." He contrasted it with the previously rumored Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua bout. However, Sonnen stressed one major problem: Davis doesn't understand how to promote a fight. He argued that Tank cannot sell or hype a contest, whether it's a championship bout or headline event, which makes this fight less attractive from a business perspective.
The exact opposite has happened. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is not fighting nobody. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is fighting Tank Davis. Okay, so there's one big glaring issue for me. It's just your partner being Tank Davis. Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. It could be a title fight, a contenders fight, a main event fight. He could be the favorite, he could be the underdog. Tank doesn't know how to bring that information to you guys in a way that is compelling. And Tank is already blinking in this situation. You have one guy who is argued amongst the pound for pound current greats in boxing. You have another guy that has suggested he should not even be allowed to box, that he should have to call it something different. He should not be licensed. He should not be ranked in the top 14. He should never be selected for a world title. Okay.
Joe Rogan has consistently supported Jake Paul's legitimacy in boxing, contending that most critiques stem more from Paul's celebrity background than his ability in the ring. He notes that Paul has appeared strong in his outings with sharp technique, genuine power, and effective execution, and that nothing in his fights so far looks fake or flawed. Rogan maintains that initial skeptics are slowly recognizing Paul as a real boxer.
If Jake Paul wasn't Jake Paul, if he wasn't this YouTube guy, who was just a boxer, and you see a boxer knock out the former UFC welterweight champion, not just the former, but one of the best ever, knock him out with one punch like that, you're like, oh man, have you seen this Jake Paul dude coming up? He's fucking for real. Because nothing about watching him fight, to me, screams like he's in over his head. Nothing. He looks like a real boxer.
Critics claim that Jake Paul's latest moves, including his win over 58-year-old Mike Tyson, underline a disturbing pattern in his boxing career. Many see his decision to fight an aging icon as spectacle rather than a true challenge, raising doubts about his dedication to the sport. Prominent voices like Carl Froch have dismissed Paul's showing as devoid of real skill, arguing that his achievements are driven more by entertainment than by athletic merit.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony took a big L with Daniel Dubois, but Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. It's not a joke. You know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there, but Jake Paul, I've got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening, it's positioning, it's marketing already. Now, why would you see Jake Paul go face to face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's gonna fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly gonna be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3 because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? You never know.
Speculation is increasing that Jake Paul could meet Anthony Joshua in a major showdown potentially set for early 2026. Paul's manager, Nakisa Badarian, has confirmed discussions are active and mentioned Wembley Stadium and other big venues as possible options. Paul has frequently called out Joshua, insisting with confidence that he is capable of pulling off a dramatic upset.
Everyone's been wanting to see it happen. Who will be the king of the United Kingdom? And who will be the queen of the United... Too soon? I'm praying that boxing doesn't happen to this fight, and what I mean by that is politics. People trying to take more money than they deserve. Fuck the money, get in there, make fucking history. This is one of the biggest fights that could happen over this past decade. Make it fucking happen, Eddie Hearn. Make it fucking happen, Frank Warren. Make it happen, Tyson. Make it happen, Anthony Joshua. We don't need fucking excuses. Don't let boxing ruin this fight. Get in the fucking ring and fight.
Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, has shown interest, suggesting the fight could deliver enormous publicity and revenue. Critics, though, caution Joshua risks tarnishing his reputation by fighting Paul, who many still label more entertainer than true contender. At the same time, Paul is fueling the speculation to boost his profile, increasingly casting himself as a dangerous wildcard in the heavyweight scene.
Let's talk about AJ ever so quickly. I watched Jake Paul the weekend. I feel a bit dirty saying that because I'm not a fan of his, but he did say after the fight that he's sort of having DMs or he's dropping text messages to AJ. They're having a chat about a potential fight. What's your view on that, Eddie?
Well, look, he's calling out Gervonta Davis, who is a 135-pound lightweight, and he's calling out Anthony Joshua, that's a heavyweight monster. I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul. Hopefully not literally, but it's that dangerous that, you know, it's a fight that I don't think should really happen, if I'm honest. I would say about Jake Paul, and I've said this in a couple of interviews today, I do think you start after giving him a margin of respect. You know, I think this guy is going through the motions, he's putting the hard spars in. He just went 10 rounds with, yes, a washed-up fighter, but a former world champion that did train for that fight. But they're very clever in terms of the opponents that they pick. They're not going to gamble unless the money's out of control. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul, wanted to move forward with an Anthony Joshua fight. Honestly, AJ's coming tonight. He's not exactly looking at Jake Paul going, oh, that's my dream opponent. No. Would he go in there and give him a hiding for, you know, a massive chunk of money? Probably. I'd be saying, yeah, go on. I'd like to see it.
Stephen A. Smith has often attacked Jake Paul's lineup of opponents, stressing that many are inactive, faded boxers, or past their primes. He insists Paul has yet to prove himself against fighters representing today's elite level. Paul responded by saying he tried to secure a bout with Tommy Fury, claiming Fury rejected offers, emphasizing that the Fury fight would have been a serious test. Their clash in February 2023 became one of the rare occasions Paul faced a true professional in his prime. Paul dropped a split decision, marking his first and only defeat to an active, established boxer.
You are beating up on dudes who don't box. They're not boxers.
I was on Disney Channel while these guys were winning UFC championships.
Okay.
You know, I was playing with Mickey Mouse while these guys were throwing arm bars and winning UFC championships. Everyone's, analyzing my career, critiquing it, paying attention to it from day one, but you can't tell me who was Mike Tyson's first fight. You can't tell me who Muhammad Ali, who was his fourth fight. No one knows, but everyone's seen all of my fights. I tried to fight Tommy Fury. Yeah, I tried to fight Tommy Fury, and he backed out due to a rib injury. Undefeated, young prospect. He comes from the Fury family. His brother's the heavyweight champion of the world. I tried to fight him, and he got scared.
Smith has directly criticized Jake Paul for targeting boxing legend Mike Tyson. He argues that if Paul wants to be taken seriously, he should face opponents closer to his age and skill rather than calling out aging veterans who carry far greater experience.
I can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer/fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport, and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested.
What did you think about the fight, Jake Paul?
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.
Will Jake Paul's punching power overwhelm Gervonta Davis, or will Tank's refined skills silence the hype once and for all? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.